Yeah, it's Tuesday, August 25th. Just got done finishing loading the car. Getting ready to leave for Texas, like Beaumont, to chase Hurricane Laura. Oh, I know, I'm just kidding. You'd be good while I'm gone. I actually packed a couple days ago, but just had to grab a few last minute things. And now we're hitting the road. Did you see your sign? Oh goodness.
It's adventure.
What is that?
How
are you?
And it has my name on it.
Well, thank you, Jack, and thank you, Avery. That's so nice of you. It's so thoughtful. Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, but you cost it one.
You what?
Is your car still running?
Yeah, I have to leave it running or it's gonna drain the battery. I have all my equipment going in there.
When you pulled up, he's like, Uncle Mikey has a tow truck. I said, it's not a tow truck. Is this
Yeah,
car?
see, Jack, I've had this for a while. See, Jack, I have,
You kept everything in there.
I know.
Yeah, he's got a computer in there.
You wanna jump up there and see?
You wanna look, buddy?
You wanna go in there? Climb up there. See, I'm watching the storm on the computer right there. After my brief stop in Dallas, I got back on the highway heading southeast towards the Texas coast, near where Laura was expected to make landfall the following night. Yeah, okay, so it's 8:41 on Tuesday night, heading south on 45. You can see all the people evacuating. It's just a steady stream of cars coming north on 45 from the Texas coast. Not nearly as much traffic heading south. It's starting to get to the point now where we're up by Buffalo, so we're still a long ways. I'm still 2.5 hours, 3 hours from the coast. But you can see it's already like basically bumper to bumper traffic. All right, Wednesday, August 26th. It is 9:42 in the morning. Just stayed in Winnie last night. Actually, I parked the car like right there outside my window. Make sure that nobody stole my shit because I didn't want to unhook everything. So I just brought in the bare essentials, but just got up, got showered. I'm running a little late. I was going to get up early, but I was kind of dragging ass, and I figured this is the last night of sleep I'm going to get for a while, so slept in. But going to go over to the coast south of Port Arthur and then check that out for a while. Probably look for a spot in Port Arthur, but I'm afraid I was looking at flood maps last night that it's going to end up possibly underwater for the most part, so I don't know about that. Plus I think the eye is shifting east a little bit, so I'm going to go over to Lake Charles. I already know Beaumont because I chased Hurricane Rita there, so I might swing through Beaumont, just firm up my spots there, then run over to Lake Charles, take a look at it, and then if I got time, which I probably do, I'll go down to the coast south of Lake Charles. Pull up satellite right now. Let me zoom in for a second. But it's a Category 3 storm now. See, it's strengthened quite a bit through the night. It's got a well-defined eye now. But once I figure out my locations, I'll start to dial in where I think landfall is going to be. And try to get right off the east side. I'd like to go right dead middle in the eye, but you know the strongest winds are off the east side, so I'll probably take the northeast eye wall if I can, where the most damage will be. But if it's going to be dark anyway, so I doubt you can see the eye wall very well. So I think my strategy is going to be aim for the strongest winds and the most damage, rather than trying to get in the eye. So I may have the eye go a little west of me if I get in Lake Charles. I don't know. We'll find out. But anyways, I'll scout the spots and get it figured out. Alright, Mikey Gribble here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, waiting on Hurricane Laura. It is 4:45. We're in between bands. There's a few tornado warnings to our northeast, but right now, see, it's pretty much sunny. It's not blowing hard yet. It's not bad. It's going to get really bad though. That's actually the lake right over there. So, see, I'm not that far above the water line, maybe, I don't know, 6 feet at the base of this thing. but I'm up on the 3rd floor of the parking garage, so I should be high enough and be out of the storm surge. So while I had a few minutes while I was waiting for another van to move in, I figured I'd go over the equipment and what I use to go hurricane chasing. Up front is kind of the command center. I have internet coming in through 3 different sources. I carry both AT&T and Verizon. So I use it for tornado chasing too, so it's reliable. Always make sure you have coverage regardless where you're at. Nobody's gonna have coverage once the towers go down out here, which they will go down. So we'll have data at least up until the main part of the storm gets here, I would assume. There's Laura right now out over the Gulf. We're right about there. That's current satellite. There's radar. That's our GPS location. You can see the eyes coming up. Right now, expect the east side of the eye wall to hit right about here in Lake Charles, which is where you get the strongest winds, the strongest storm surge. Latest National Hurricane Center forecast, I think they were calling for, it was at 947 millibar pressure. They're calling for winds to be up to 150 mile an hour sustained when it comes on shore later tonight. Storm surge is 15 to 20 feet, which is huge. This will all this area out here that I'm watching will sure be underwater. Which is actually probably my biggest concern, is I'm afraid I'm going to get trapped in the flood water. But we'll see. Fortune favors the bold. So I've thought about retreating back to Beaumont, but I'm not going to. I'm going to ride it out here. I came for a storm, and I am going to put myself in the best position possible. The other equipment up here, so I run satellite so I can monitor the hurricane. Then I have radar. I have GR level 3 software on here, which is radar software. There's my GPS icon right there, so I can track myself on the map relative to the storm. I also stream video, which is, that camera right there is an interior camera for when I'm streaming. Then I have this one forward facing, and that's what's putting the picture-in-picture on there. The other cameras, there's 2 dash cameras right there in case I'm not paying attention and something happens and I'm not recording it. I have a forward-facing one, I have an interior-facing one, and then I actually have one more in back that is facing backwards. They're on a loop record, so that way I've lost my car windows enough time where I didn't catch it on video that I learned my lesson. I keep cameras running all the time in here now. And then the only other thing up here is the weather radio, and then of course I got my rain jacket, which is pretty much a must when you're hurricane chasing. Then in back, this is where the apartment is. There's my bed, pillow. I actually have a memory foam mattress. It's not the first time I've slept in my car, and it's way more comfortable that way. That's my primary camera. Then my camera bag. I have a bunch of other cameras, backup cameras in there, tripods down there. So just all my camera equipment. And then back here, when I'm laying in bed, there's my wet wipes. You don't get a shower out here, and the Gulf of Mexico is extremely hot and steamy, so instead of showering you get a wipe down with those. I got a fan to help keep me cool when I sleep at night and if I get trapped here. Plus I need white noise to sleep. If the hurricane winds don't do it for me, that fan will. This is my emergency gear rack. I keep all kinds of stuff on there that's, you know, that you might need tools for. This is the main thing though. That has my first aid kit, that has a trauma kit, it has blood clotting stuff, it has Israeli bandages. So if something should happen, somebody gets seriously hurt or I get hurt, you're prepared to deal with it. This is just my clothes bag. This is some extra gear I keep in here for when I'm sleeping, stuff like battery backups. Got the anemometer so I can measure wind speeds and pressure when the hurricane comes in. You need plenty of water. Basically, when you come hurricane chasing, it's kind of like extreme camping. You can't depend on anybody else for any supplies, really. You got to come down here ready to go, and I go pretty heavy, so I brought enough food and water to get me by for probably a good week if I had to, 2 weeks. And honestly, if I live that long, I'm going to want to die, so that's all the supplies I need. Then in this Tupperware there, this big tote, this is where I keep all my other supplies. Towels, obviously need that. Have a jumper battery in here that also has a compressor on it. One big problem you have with hurricanes is flat tires. So got 4 cans of Fix a Flat. So theoretically with the spare I can fix 5 flat tires. Then I have my food. I got snacks in there, a lot of protein shakes. Try to go on a liquid diet as much as possible. I do bring some MREs, which they're not bad. They don't taste too bad. I probably won't eat them, but if I do get trapped here, it's nice to know that I have those if I need them. But I kind of don't eat much when I chase. I get kind of anxious. The one luxury I do bring is I do not go without coffee. So I brought my jet boil. It's got my coffee press in there, full bag of coffee. That's the one thing I will not do without. So I'm ready to go on coffee, especially because it's making landfall. Lord's gonna come on shore. The I'll hit probably around 2, 3 a.m., something like that. So it's gonna pretty much be an all-nighter, and I'll definitely need coffee to get me through it. And another main one is gas. I have that cargo rack, and I keep 35 gallons of gas in there because everybody's trying to evacuate. All the gas stations get shut down. Basically, it's kind of that whole supply thing. It's extreme camping. You have to bring in what you need. And especially if I get trapped here, which is a distinct possibility since I'm in a low-lying area, it's nice to be able to run the air conditioner and run the car for a few days if I have to live out of it. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. So that is the gear I have to try to make it through Hurricane Laura, and possibly a few days afterwards, sleeping in a parking garage. It's 6:17 right now, Wednesday, Lake Charles. Just waiting on another band to come in. Right now, there's nothing. And what were you guys' names again?
Oh, I'm Luke. Nice to meet you guys, whoever's
Anthony.
looking.
Yeah, I met those guys in the same parking garage, so we're gonna ride out the hurricane together.
Look at this guy, he's like, yes.
Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do during this thing.
Yeah, I've always wondered that kind of thing. When they're on land, where do they probably hide in the grass or?
Come back over here and check on them when we're done.
At one point, a pigeon flew over and landed on my arm. I managed to get a picture before it flew away. I couldn't help feeling bad for them and wondering if they were going to be able to survive the direct hit from a devastating Category 4 hurricane that was about to happen.
Charles, see they're closing the bridge. First major band.
Well, so
Get
right
ready
now,
to come in.
it's starting to get bad. Yeah, no, it is.
We're still
It's
down
coming
here at the
this
lake.
way. Oh no, we've got northerlies. We've got northerlies. Look at that. It's coming this way, which means that we are in the circulation of Laura.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
All right, it is 11:54 now. Starting to pick up. It's just been taking forever. It's really like, it's so slow building. Basically, up to this point, it's been like a severe thunderstorm where it's like, why did I drive all the way to Louisiana for this? But now, you know what's coming. So now it's finally starting to kick up again. And we're taking the stronger band. It's not like what I consider like the inner band, but we're like getting into the heavier banding now where things should go downhill in a hurry. And as the eye approaches, which is probably still an hour and a half out, and it looks like we are going to take the right side of the eye wall, which is where I wanted to be. That's where the strongest wind should be, the strongest storm surge. We should take a hit from that. And right now too, this side of the building, the wind's kind of blocking it, so it doesn't look as violent as it will when the winds shift around. Right now we're looking at straight south. When the winds shift around and come more out of the east as the eye approaches and coming more out of the south, right now they're kind of out of the northeast. That will make it look a lot worse out here. It's 1:11. Power just went out. There's another transformer going, or a flashlight, something over there.
radar data, so I don't know where the eye wall is, but it's got to be getting like probably within 10 miles or so, I think. It's getting pretty violent, some of these gusts now.
Right, son, fine. It's going windy, mate. It's getting windy. Mother of God. Oh! The glass just broke on all the building. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be careful out there. All that glass breaking and flying around. Oh man, don't do it. Oh. Dude, that is not smart. You can hear the roaring of it now. It is 2:05 in the morning. Gotta be on the eye wall pretty soon. Wind's been changing direction. It's starting to get, well, it's been really bad, but it's getting even worse. piece of sheet metal. There you go. Yeah.
What should I break? I definitely wouldn't do a passenger or front grabber. I'd do a back window. Will I be able to open it through the back? Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, don't do the very back, just the side window. That's it, yeah. I'll do that one. I would do that one, yeah. That's the cheapest one.
It's 2:30. The wind's starting to change directions on us by the eye wall, so I had to get away from the wall over there because debris keeps flying in. I already had a couple of close calls. It is 9:06 Thursday morning, so we made it through the storm. Here's the blood last night from that chase we got filming. It was violent all night. The car was just shaking. The roar was constant, but I was so dead I didn't have any trouble sleeping at all. We finally went to bed like 4:30 this morning. This is the area where I was filming from when I was at ground level last night. I was standing right over here, filming from like this crouching spot right here, looking back over here across the street. Oh Jesus, that dumpster down there. But you can see I should have filmed on the way out of the parking garage because there's debris. You can see when the wind changed directions, because initially it was coming from the northeast like that, and we were shielded down here. But it switched around to the east, coming straight down the street this way. Once the eye wall got close, that's when then as the eye came through, it caught the right side of the eye wall, and it switched and was coming into the parking garage this way, and started blowing debris in over here. To get the hell out of here. You can see like there's gates that were up here, shattered the gates. See all the debris and sheet metal down there in the bottom. Back up to the third floor so that debris couldn't hit us, and even at the third floor had sheet metal fly in. I was standing right there at that pillar, and sheet metal, when the wind would shift, you'd have to duck down and hit the deck, and I had sheet metal hitting the wall right next to me. So even up there you weren't really that safe. And this is a building that was coming apart last night. That's kind of terrifying when you got glass windows breaking up there and blowing down at 130 mile and 140 mile an hour winds. stuff that was deploying all over the place last night. Just move that big electrical box right over. That was a Coast Guard helicopter over. Battery keeps running out on the regular primary Sony camera, so I keep switching over to the GoPro. See, something's burning over here. They just had the Coast Guard helicopter coming over, looking at damage, I'm sure, and I don't know if there's people that are stranded at all. They're like having to actually do search and rescue stuff, because we just got up like a few hours, well, like 20-30 minutes ago. We were only sleeping for like a few hours, didn't go to bed till like 4:30 last night. But it's a complete mess out here, but surprisingly the roads are passable. There's a lot of debris on them, but we're gonna be able to get through. I'm walking back down to the lake to check on the pigeons and the ducks that we saw last night, and hopefully they made it. If they did make it, I don't know, they may not even be over here. God knows how far they would get pushed away. Yeah, 140-mile-an-hour winds. Just a mess. There's glass everywhere, and that glass was just raining down. I mean, you gotta remember, it's like, this is the good side of the building, but hurricane force winds and windows breaking at, 20 floors up is a bad combination when you're sheltering right next to it. So that was a little sketchy. And you see, just snapped that steel pole right over. It's like it just like ripped it out of the housing. There's actually a sign from the parking garage that was bent, that broke off, that I decided I'm gonna steal it, taking it home as a souvenir. I don't think they're gonna need it anymore, so I see it more as a civic duty to help clean up. But I need that. I came blown back through the garage last night. This is where the ducks were. God, there's just debris everywhere. Something's burning across Lake Charles. I don't know what it is, but it's big. Search and rescue helicopters and planes flying all over the place. But the one piece of good news is there's some of the ducks. They made it through. I don't know how, but they did. I hear more ducks over there. Oh, there's some. did what we could. I wish I could feed the ducks and the pigeons, but I didn't bring anything that they would want to eat. And I figure if they made it through that hurricane, they're gonna be just fine. It's over there. I don't know how that had to be just horrible out here in the open, because even though we're like quite a ways away from the building over there, I mean there's still glass everywhere over here. So I mean they weren't exempt from getting hit with debris. There's another rescue plane. I don't know if it's a Coast Guard or what. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. See a sheet metal just wrapped around this sign. Dude, that is like heavy stuff. Like it didn't seem so heavy when it was blowing so hard last night, but that's the end of my storm chasing days if you get hit with one of those. All right, it's 10:35. Making a cup of coffee. I was just uploading video. It's gonna be like the best cup of coffee I've ever had in my life. They have all these warnings keep coming out over the phones about that fire that's across Lake Charles. I guess it's chlorine gas. It's toxic to breathe, but luckily it's just barely going to our north right now. So I think we're safe for the moment. You don't need to be inhaling that stuff. I guess it's highly toxic. What are you gonna do? Yeah, because I'm waiting. Dude, over here, this other chaser I met had his, there, let's set that up. Lost his car keys last night in the hurricane. So I had to give him my hatchet so he could break his window out. And now he's waiting for the guy to show up to hopefully let him in his car or make him make him a new key. Bastard. So that's it for like 5 minutes and hopefully we have coffee. I'll go over there and show you his car. He's got a brown bulldog with him. He brought Chasey. Got cigarettes and caffeine all night. Yeah, that's where get to break out the window. There's what's the bulldog's name again? Annie. Took the storm like a champion last night. Like a champion.
Yeah, the owner's a dumbass.
oh. Say it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Waiting on him, see if the guy can hopefully make him a new key so he can get out of here. Otherwise, I got to give him a ride to Norman, Oklahoma City. Reed's still out there, isn't he? You see down there, a radio tower went down. It's crazy.
It's definitely clear of us because they warned Moss Bluff. That's like
way up north.
Did you alert?
No, I heard it go off, but I didn't see it.
Moss Bluff, which is 10 miles north.
Oh, there's the National Guard. Just a fucking mess. Finish making my coffee. Alright, it's 11:30. Just now pulling out. Had to help that other chaser tape up his window. He locked himself in his car, so he had to break his window with an axe I had. So now we start the journey out of Lake Charles. Trying to get a GPS lock so I can figure out how to get out of here. don't get flat tires. Just a fucking disaster. This is how you get flat tires after hurricanes. All right, it's 2:31. We are like northwest Louisiana, like probably 50 miles from Shreveport. And unfortunately, the gas is getting low. I like waited as long as I could, but there's no power, no gas anywhere up to here, which I think like maybe 150, 160 miles at least from the coast. So this is why you pack all the extra gas, which unfortunately it is a bastard to pour that in there, but I gotta do it. I'm just glad that I brought all those extra supplies, and that's why you come in heavy if you're gonna go hurricane chasing, because you just don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, it's crazy that it's, you know, this far out from the coast before you can find places with power or gas, but that's the way it works. So luckily we came prepared and fill it up and hope I don't get kidnapped or raped by some backwoods redneck here. So time to gas up, and then hopefully I should make it back to modern civilization before I have to gas up again. But finally hit blue skies. That was the reason that they were out of power all the way up to northwest Louisiana, is because that was the track the Lord took once it came on shore, and it carried a lot of weight up into the northwest part of the state. Like there was trees down, power lines down all the way, probably like maybe 50 miles, 60 miles south of Shreveport is about where it stopped, but the power was out all the way to just south of Shreveport. So that's if you're ever, you know, living in a coastal area and you have a hurricane coming in, or if you're going to chase a hurricane, it's a good thing to know, man. You always go heavy with the gas, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like I could have gone west out of Lake Charles this morning, and once I cleared Beaumont, got west of there, you probably would have found places with power and gas. So it's a shorter distance, but it was closed. They have the bridges that I think they have to inspect them after the hurricane, like they're questioning the integrity of them. So you couldn't go west, you had to go north. And going north made me follow the track of Laura, and following the track of Laura, no power, no gas. So you just go prepared with everything you need, which I did. I still have, I think, 15 gallons of gas left. I went in with 35. So everything is up on the up and up, almost probably not quite halfway home, but I feel way better now that we're out of Louisiana, out of the storm's path, and I'm into sunshine once again and back in civilization where you can pump your gas. So, and I got a interview deal. Gerard Bailey is a friend of mine, and he is meteorologist at WGN, so I guess they got some nightly news show. So they want to do a Skype interview at 8:30, I think. So I'll probably go ahead and record that, because I plan on making a pretty lengthy documentary about Laura, just because I have so much video. I probably have 7 hours of video, I would guess. It's going to take me a while to do, because I got to go through all that, try to scale it down as much as possible, but you know, it was a long storm, so it's a cool story, I think, when you get the whole picture, everything from like the departure and the packing and the riding out the storm itself after you find a location, to trying to get out of there, because it is a complete disaster. And that was what's shocking, is like Louisiana's just, this is devastating for them. It's sad, you know, driving out of there, seeing the damage to residential areas too, which I didn't film a whole lot had locked his keys in his car, then had to break his window to get into the car, cut his hand breaking the window, and then he got lucky. I was supposed to drive him back to Norman today because you can't leave a man behind, you can't leave a guy down there, so he ended up getting a hold of a locksmith guy that could make a key, which is incredible, the morning after a hurricane, and the dude came in there. He charged him a lot of money for it, it's fair, but he got a key, got his car started, but I wanted to stay and make sure that he got out of there before I left him, so he wasn't stuck down there, and so that made my departure time a little later than what I wanted it to be, but I should make it home by 11, maybe midnight tonight. I'm actually going to try to go to work tomorrow, which is going to be horrible, but got to save that vacation day. I got enough vacation days left. My vacation turns over in October 1. I think I have 7 days left. But I got 2 days planned for a trip to Rocky Mountain National Park, and then I got 2 days I can carry over, which leaves me with 3 if I go to work tomorrow for another hurricane. And we're still early in hurricane season, so I need to keep my options open. So just gotta tough it out, drive straight through, get another short night's sleep, and then get up, wash the hurricane and ass off of me in the morning, make myself presentable, and go into work. And this weekend I will definitely drink pretty heavily one night, and then the rest of the time I'll probably work on video editing. But just a little ways to go, and if I can make it through this last stretch driving without any issues, then I think it was a very